you're tuning in after the live, I greatly appreciate you tuning in and continuing to support my work. We have a lot to discuss today. As you can see, XRP's down by 2.82% right now. The daily close will be in just approximately 22 minutes here, as I basically got everything set up already. I love being able to put the live together before I start and have everything set up, and then we can just get right on into it. So I greatly appreciate everybody. I'm going to get into the intro here in just a second. XRP, we have got a lot to talk about on this chart, so we'll just need to be in tune here. So good early evening, 7:39 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Thursday, August 3rd, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So right now, as we said, XRP is down 2.77%, down to 6659. As we talked about a lot yesterday, and we'll get into that, but right now, maybe before, we'll have, before a lot of people get in here, maybe I can say hi. Well, 56 people here already, 38 likes. I greatly appreciate that already. Thank you so much. Make sure to hit that like button, as it'll help push my content as well. Digital Orgy, welcome in. We've got a host of people in here already. Wow, everybody, thank you. We do have a lot to talk about, so we'll get to this very quickly. XRP Rich, welcome in. Land Survey, welcome. Harvey Boy, Ian Flynn from Cali, welcome in. Land Survey Matt from Connecticut, welcome in. Hamza, good evening. No sweat when you know what you hold, exactly. Mr. Bance, welcome in. Nick Morales, Chance William, welcome in. Richard Williams, Albert Bowers, Tanya, welcome in, love. Good to see you in the house as always. Brings a smile to my face, in fact. Let's see here. Zoomstar, good evening. David Nikaza, welcome in. Listening while a slave at work. That is usually how it works, my friend, but we're going to get out of that one day. Mark Cynic, welcome in. Cintiq, welcome in from Cleveland, Ohio, my brother to the south. Ricky Bobbies, good evening. God bless you as well. 913 man, thanks for the YouTube super chat of $1.99. I greatly appreciate that support. Bless you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Phil DeMaria, welcome in. XDC at 9 cents now, Messi. Is that where it's at? Wow. I did an update on it earlier. Yeah, it's pretty close. We broke out of the rising channel, and the technical target, our first major resistance, if we don't double top, is at 899. Then 10.7 would be the breakout from this rising channel. So pay attention to that. I did an update earlier if you want to see a big breakdown of it, and then a partnership with XDC, a major one in fact, out in Singapore. Mark Caston, welcome in. John Legner Jr., welcome in. Mod in the house, I greatly appreciate that. Eric Namako, welcome in from the Philippines. Watching from the 7,000 plus islands of the Philippines. I greatly appreciate that. Francisco, welcome in, my friend. Mitchell, Percent Better, good evening. Dr. Pat Riot, welcome in. Codeserve, Soul Sanctuary Meditations, welcome in from the Netherlands. OMC, good afternoon. Jason Reckley, God bless you, my friend. Let's see. Terry, welcome in from Mexico. I appreciate that. Keep up the good work. Wow, you guys are so very generous. Nick bought yours at 2 to 3 cents. Yep, we bought our XDC as a community at 0.29. So a fantastic buy there indeed. Albert, thank you for the $19.99 donation. I greatly appreciate that. Get some adult smoke from Florida. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much. And I do have some adult smoke for in a little bit, some cannabis. Mark Cintiq, welcome in. All right, so with XRP, I can't believe so many people are here. 86 people already. We've only been on for 4 minutes. Make sure to hit that like button, as it will greatly help push my analytics, or push me through the analytics, and it'll force YouTube to push me through the algorithm. Joshua, it sure is love. It sure is love. I appreciate that so much. I always tell everybody I'm blessed. You guys bless me so much just by watching my content. It's been a long journey, but man, are we making something now in this community. Hola, Roger. Welcome in. So right now, as we know with XRP, my phone's going to be set up, let's see, a little bit like this. You'll be able to see a little bit of my head. Finally caught the live from the beginning, Jan. I'm so glad to see you, love. I'm glad you were able to catch it from the beginning today. I'm trying to do it around 7:37 area on most days, just because it leads us into the daily close. XDC, I mean, that's up to your interpretation. To put it in perspective, we're already up by 200% from where we bought in. So for me to say it's a good or bad buy is not my positioning. I like to buy pre-pumps, so I would not be looking to buy more. But if I hadn't bought yet, you know, that's an interpretation you're going to have to make. And we'll take that, Mark, we'll take a deeper look into XDC, I promise. We just got to talk a lot about XRP here. God will bless all of you and your kids. Be smart, stay strong. Absolutely, Ian. Absolutely. We got to have faith. So with XRP right here, what I was talking about is in the 2 hourly, we knew yesterday we had a death cross. We were talking about the move back down here last night and to see if 66 cents. We had an overextension to 65 cents, which is possible. And we almost hit there. We still have this bull flag set up where we're on the outside. But what we found out yesterday, or at least I theorized, and it's playing true, is we formed this channel. So basically, we have a high right here. Lower high, and then we didn't even come up yet. But then we had low, support. So basically, these pulled up in the daily time frame and used this downtrending support on the bull flag as the support, which ironically or conveniently or just out of good luck or good fortune, we've created a falling channel. So the good fortune is we know what we're in. The falling channel was formed by the uptrending or the resistance formed on the symmetrical triangle failed breakout attempt, and then we successfully had lower highs. Then we had a low support formed here on the breakout of the bull flag. We pulled down, pulled back up in the daily, pulled down, pulled up, pulled down, pulled back up. For these just ended up being wicks here. And now we use it as a channel support. So now what's happening, and this is what's going to happen, and this is 100% the truth. I don't sugarcoat it. And you have to make do with it for what you will. But XRP came in on the symmetrical triangle. Support, resistance, support, resistance, support. Now, is it going to come through, or does it come up here, break out and push up, or do we continue this trend? Support, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance. Do we come now to resistance again, or is this going to try to double tap support? We don't know. Or is it just going to come through? If it comes through, I don't think 6133 is going to hold. Just for transparency, I know the 6133 was the broadening wedge breakout, but the pattern double top that we broke out is at this 585. That's also, if we look at the daily time frame, a beautiful spot on the cup and handle. If it's going to come down below the 65, basically where we hit on that retest just now. See how we hit this? We basically hit, and this is the cool thing about yesterday, if we do hold support. See this? 6586. That's technically the wick up from this, what we're talking about right now. That wick down last night came down right into that area. That means we've satisfied that cup and handle push. That can still be a bullish handle on the cup right here. It's just we can come down to 58.5. Would we come all the way down here to retest the pattern breakout in the short term? That you don't really want to come all the way down there. We want to, at least if we're going to come down, stop at 585. That would satisfy the cup and handle that took us from April of 22. We already know we've had a golden cross here in the weekly time frame. So now we're looking at some support. We need support. Where's it going to happen? With the falling channel, it suggests we still have work to do. The fact that we're getting resisted on the 200-day here in the 3 hour suggests we've got work to do. Who's Tom's brother? Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing is my brother, if you're interested. He is on YouTube. He does crypto, but he does a lot of other things as well. But I think he's good at what he does. He's getting closer to 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, as a matter of fact. Joshua, Tom, your brother, mentioned a significant pump for XP that could occur in April or 2020. Let's hope that comes through. I mean, I'll be honest, that was a lofty prediction. I don't see that happening. Not that quickly. I don't think it's going to happen that quickly, but hey, you know, it's possible. You never know. I'll put my brother's channel in here. Hold on. Let me just grab it in case anybody wants to see it. He does good technical analysis. For anybody who's seen it before. He talks a lot about gold and silver as well. So if you're interested in that, he talks about some of the stock market. But he does talk about a lot of things, so let me share his in here. So if you're interested in my brother's station, that's Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing. He works a day job. He's out of town in Illinois right now in Rivian. So, Sean, you need some hopium? Well, Sean, here. Listen, everybody. Yes, it looks bearish in the short term, and yes, I do believe, like I said yesterday, we'll likely come down to the 585. Even though we're still on the top of here, It's possible we come down here for that cup and handle, for the bullish handle on the cup. And the biggest parabolic spike we can receive is if we come down and fulfill that cup and handle and fill the bullish handle out all the way. If we come to 585 and hold, that would be your most parabolic spike you can have. And the technical move out of that is technically $1.50. Now, I keep prefacing by saying technically, because if you break down there, you got a slew of resistance to come pass through. I prefer to make a double bottom here, just to be transparent. I prefer the double bottom to be formed here again now on this breakdown. I prefer it to be ready to bounce out. But what we're seeing here is we are more than likely in the next 10 minutes here probably going to get very close to a death cross here in the 3 hourly. We're getting rejected, and we have to be honest with ourselves. Rejection, pulling down now. So, you know, we can avoid what's happening here. We can be honest. Now, if we lose the 200-day here, that's your ultimate signal. We're coming down to 585 and the 4 hourly. Right now, it's overly bearish in the short time frame. The volume's not there to support a massive crash, but if we can gain liquidity with no substance and have a pull down, we've already gained a lot of liquidity. So don't let me trick you thinking that it's going to have to go down 100%. But don't think that makes it bearish. Don't think that makes it bearish. If we can go down properly and retest that cup and handle and actually hold it at the 585, that's your maximum bounce potential. That's why I drew that like that a long time ago. The maximum potential for a parabolic bounce or spike. We are getting a sale as it goes down as well, yes, if you're not in. But this is why I said when everybody was asking me to buy, if they should buy if they didn't get in when it was on the parabolic spike, I said no. You can't buy this. You have to buy when it breaks down if you think it's going to hold the breakdown level, which right now we're in a technical breakdown. We're down almost 30% from the top. But technically it looks like I would love for us to hold here, but what we're looking at right now is we're being rejected on the 3 hour for 4 straight candles. Unless we get a reversal here, it still has legs to come farther down. Yesterday, the death cross in the 2 hourly said the short term was reversing. This channel we formed that is keep giving us lower highs is not a good sign. Right now, we couldn't even come back up to the rising channel. We don't have a lot of sell volume, which I'll continue to contend with. That's going to be our overall saving grace when we get the proper support. So, right here, you've got 202 million that came in and 172 million in the daily. On all these breakdowns, you've got 33 million, 27.5 million, 21.4 million, 37 million. This one, we've got 25.7. Now the consolidation we come through, 21, 32, 8 million, 26, 27, 23, 16. And today, we've only had 27 million again, and there's only 8 minutes left. So now it's like, how much potential for a huge breakdown do we have? To me, if it breaks down, we're going to connect with the weekly. Like we said, we're waiting for it to connect. And that should bring us up to about the 585 level if we have to have a breakdown. We talked about this candle. It's not necessary to break down. It's not. It's just if you do, that is where we're going. And I like to be very transparent before things happen. Dump before the pump happens all the time. It sure does, Sheeb News. Sure does. Roger Farley, thank you so much for tuning in, my friend. Sean, XDC is at 0893. And that's why we buy XRP, XLM, and XDC. XRP is consolidating, but we're up. We bought XDC at 2.9. 12,222 tokens because we equal it with XRP and XLM. We buy the same amount of tokens. And now it's up from 2.9 up to almost 9 cents. I mean, you're up 200%. But this is why we buy it. We don't try to tell which ones of the 3 X's you should have and which ones you shouldn't. You should have all 3. An equal token weight is my prediction. Awesome, Roger. That's what I like to see. Hey, Tom. Honest opinion, worst case scenario, what would cause... Honest scenario, I think you know, but I'll tell everybody who's not here yet. Honest scenario, who hasn't been in here, we all know the honest scenario that I have. Do you guys really want to hear the dark side of this if it does break down? Look where we're at right now. We might be in a bull flag, but I'll continue to tell you guys, we're still in a pattern formation. For us to be overly bullish out of this area, we had to hold 80 cents. This was not a secret. So right now, worst case scenario is we lose this area and we don't hold the 585. and then we start sinking down farther, and then we lose this uptrend. This is the 2020 uptrend. This is where I expect us to fall back down to if we lose this bull flag. But look, if you just put it in a proper perspective of all-time patterns, we never technically broke out of the first area and held. We talked about this from the beginning. We didn't know if it could get up there, but if it did, we would be looking to form a bull flag and break out. Right now, that's not what it's looking like. Hey, welcome in, Rockin' XRP Painter. I appreciate you reporting for duty, my friend. JW, welcome in, my friend. Always awesome to see you in here. Sean XTC has broken 9 cents. It's getting there. I mean, no problem, Jan. But that's what, how many people are in here? 132 people. No wonder it's moving so quickly. Make sure to hit that like button. Has 75 likes, 132 people. I think you guys can do me more solace than that for all the work and time I put in. Help me push my content by showing me that proper support. If you don't want to hit the like button, as I always tell everybody, you can always send me a YouTube super chat, or it's my dying wish that more, not dying wish, but it is my greatest wish that more people will join Tom's army that are in here on a daily basis. Hopefully, though, by me putting some light into it, we'll hit that like button. 84 likes, 128 people watching. Always helps me tremendously if you hit the like button. You have no idea how YouTube ranks everything. So, with that being said, remember, this is not the overextension right now. This is just a bull flag on the horizontal support. Remember, this actually, that's why we have it on the other chart, extended out. This actually, in the 4-hourly, brings you out like this. At least close to it, but I don't like to put it on this chart because this is just a horizontal support. So when we go back to the other chart, now you can have it looking a little more bullish. You see the breakout, you see the extension. We formed a channel breaking, but right now it's not great. Right now it's not great. Hell yeah, Randad, you bought exactly when I did. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much, Roger. I appreciate that. Roy, great content in TA. Brother, stayed in Detroit, Kalamazoo, Charlottesville area, and Old. Oh, awesome. Awesome. You're not too... Julie actually was in Kalamazoo for a while. She went to Western Michigan for a couple of years. Would you like to pump from here 58? Me personally, 58. I want maximum liquidity. I want maximum liquidity. 585. I've said it before. That would be the maximum bounce. On the bull flag, the maximum bounce would be at 60, right where we're at. It came down exactly where it needed to. I'm not overly bullish on this setup right now. I know it's a bull flag. I know we're on the outside. But if it holds and we can get above here, this is when I become more bullish. The good thing is we haven't lost the 4-hour 200-day. So that means the pattern hasn't technically flipped bearish yet from this area. We're still within a formation. We are still riding along the bull flag breakout, but we have 4 minutes until the close. What we're looking at right now, first of all, we need to get back above here, the 20-day. But now we're extending out. This is going to have to extend out now because this is our channel. So look at how this is going to play out. It's going to come to 65 like we've talked about the whole time likely. But if it breaks this, because it looks like a bear flag is forming. Looks like a bear flag is starting to form here, possibly. We don't know yet. We'll see if we can get any saving grace at 8 o'clock or when the Asian markets turn on. But right now, this looks like further consolidation. It looks like 585 is coming up. It could come down farther. I see some comments right here. That's where they're getting the 55 cents. That's the pattern breakout. That's how you get down to 55. I don't necessarily want 55. I'll be straight up with you. It's not that I think it would be a bad thing. It's just, I would much rather prefer us to hold that 585 area on that bullish handle. But it is a healthy retracement. Healthy retracement. I know it's the favorite term of the XRP audience, but in this case, I talked about it when we broke up. I said the best opportunity for us to have a parabolic spike would either be where it's actually at right now, or the best opportunity would be 585 because that's the most liquidity built up. If we come down to 55 cents, yes, that's an opportunity, but it makes me nervous. We'd fall right back into that trap. I don't even want to come down farther because when we're in this area, I feel comfortable. Yes, I know over here would be the best opportunity to get that parabolic spike because you'd have and that's why I drew out the cup and handle like this where it hits right here, because I know that would be the maximum capacity, or we would maximize firmly on the liquidity down here. It doesn't have to, though. I keep saying it doesn't have to go down there, but with this falling channel, if we can't break out, we got a problem here. And now we have the 3 hourly is becoming overly bearish as we're getting rejected on the 200. Did your mom not shut that off for me? I asked her to turn that. She said she would. Was it still on? Yeah. Thank you. So yeah, that's my interpretation. No, when you buy XRP more, yeah, exactly. That's exactly it, though. It's one of those things, though. Are you willing to sell it out right now to rebuy it back in at 58.5, or were you willing to sell it out at the top in the USA? We have a 35% capital gains tax in the USA. I don't want to pay that tax, but I'll tell you what, if it's still in a accumulation cycle, the worst thing I can do is keep buying and selling every time I make a couple $1,000s, pay a 35% capital gains inside of a year just to rebuy it back to sell it in the same cycle. I learned my lesson in 2021. I told everybody on almost 13,000 in profits, it cost me over $5,000. So trust me, I didn't have a choice in 2021 because we were at the end of a cycle. I have a choice now by the way I set this up. So yes, I was up at the top. You know, hey, you want to make 6,000-7,000 and pay 35%, or do you want to continue to accumulate? Understand we're in an accumulation phase that will bring us through 2024. Remember, we bought late 2022, early 2023. So by early 2024, that'll be outside of a year. Once you're outside of a year, it drops magically from 35% to 15% in the great USA. So you get to save 20% more. I'm sorry, but if I don't have to pay the government over the top, I'm not going to do it. And a lot of people that speak about it, it's not that they're uneducated, but a lot of times, you know, like they say, real eyes realize real lies. A lot of times in the comments, when somebody will say, you should have sold out, yada, 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 but then they will never answer the tax issue. It just tells me that most people that are commenting don't understand what it means to go through a market cycle, don't understand why you accumulate instead of selling every 2 seconds and pay the tax. You don't want to pay Uncle Sam. Why would you pay somebody willingly 35% if you only have to pay 15%? That's the short-sightedness. It doesn't matter. Okay, so if you bought 2 years ago, if you bought 10,000 in the last year and no, it'll automatically do that for you if you sell out. Let's say you sell your entire XRP. Anything that's still within a year, it'll automatically calculate at a 35% if you're on a reliable exchange like Uphold, FEMX. They're doing it. They're figuring it out for you when you sell. So anything that's lumped up with that, some of it could be 15, some could be 35%. They'll figure it out. But that's why I keep pushing FEMX and Uphold right now, because they're backed by the USA. They never went anywhere. They had good enough lawyers to know they didn't have to take XRP away, and they have a tax code to where they will send you a 1099. They have the proper paperwork, and they're the only ones that have universally showed me a tax form, a 1099 thing that I have to sign. That is where I'm at. And for everybody who talks about the XRP ledger, I suggest you go watch a few videos that are popping up online right now with people getting money or their ledger hacked. Thousands of XRP. I keep talking about Uphold for a reason. It's not just a normal exchange. It's more of a brokerage firm. It's a lot safer than a normal exchange. They have gold you can buy on there. They have different stocks you can buy on there. You've got to be somewhere that you can trust. They have 1099 is considered a gift. No, that is not true. 1099 is not, I mean, it's technically not, I mean, it is a gift if you send somebody a gift, it's 1099 technically, but the way I'm speaking of the 1099, that's like if you're working a job that doesn't make you take taxes out. Law docs, that's what I'm speaking to, but yes, it is 1099. Yeah, I've always told everybody, I don't trust the ledger, and I don't trust anywhere where I have to have 4,000 different passcodes, where the main company has my stuff on file. You can have any amount of keys, you can have any amount of password changes, but the bottom line is Tell the legal tax code for rich crypto. Hey, as far as that goes, under the tax code, they're all legal. That's the hardcore truth. They had no problem in 2021. Exactly, Sean. That's what I keep trying to tell everybody. There's a reason they push the cold wallet. They always tell you to buy it with their codes. They always tell you to, anyhow, on Uphold or anywhere you go, like with the legal tax code, Joshua, I'll answer that very easily. When they started suing XRP in late 2021 December, I filed my taxes for my XRP sales and all crypto in 2021 during tax time. I waited till September because I always wait till September because they're not getting my money early, and it allows me to wait to put in my income every year until September. Just think about that when you're doing it. File an extension so you have everything put in place so you don't have to rush it. That's what I do every single year, which means my tax season's coming up in about 3.5 weeks. Which I've already filed everything. It's just a matter of sending the button and putting in the last, things. But they took XRP as a regular crypto. They didn't say, oh, we're not taking the taxes because it's security, or oh, we're going to punish you because you own a security. No, they said you've been hit with a 35% capital gains tax. Not one mention of XRP being a security, not one mention of any kind of liable criminality, nothing. Because it's a capital gains tax. Let me ask you a question, my friend. Is XRP a cryptocurrency? Yes or no? Joshua, is XRP a cryptocurrency by definition? Yes or no? I'll answer this question very easily for you. Yes, it is, Sam. Welcome in, Sam. Long time in the house. But Joshua, XRP is a cryptocurrency in the USA. A cryptocurrency is deemed to have a capital gains hit of 35%. That's why I keep telling you guys, XRP is not a security. XRP is money. They're taxing it as a money, as a capital gain situation. Even in the stock market, most things you get a capital gains, but a lot of it's capped at 25 and then 15 or 10 after a year. This is the kind of stuff they should be teaching us in school. A lot of people that get into crypto, I've seen it time and time again, guys. Time and time again. I'm about to, actually. I'm about to be honest with you. But the capital gains thing, a lot of people that are unaware of making profits, and it always happens, and I never am mean to anybody in the comments when they don't understand it, but it's so easy to pick out somebody who's never made profits, or who's not in the profit, who can easily just say, oh, you should have sold and took the profits, not understanding market cycle. I'm maximizing my gains by not doing that. If I sell out to buy back, and then I got to pay 35% twice, imagine paying 35% on $5,000 in profit, and then let's say it does go back. We buy back at $5.85 and it goes to $1.13. Now you're paying like a tax hit on $5,000 on the first sale, or $6,000. Then you're going to pay another $10,000 on the next sale. So now you got 35% on 16 or 15 grand. When you could have not sold it the first time, still held it through the second time, and likely because of the market cycle, you probably still won't sell it there. So I'm trying to educate everybody on the market cycle too. Here's the deal. I want you to keep as much money as possible. Absolutely. If you lose money, you can claim up to $3,500 a year in taxes. It rolls over though. So let's say you lose $100,000 this year. Yes, you can only claim up to $3,500 as a write-off, as an offset, but you can do it every single year until you burn off that $100,000 in losses. Law Docs, I appreciate that, but be gentle in this cycle because this is consolidation now. So we are making great calls, but now what's going to happen? Here's my question. Yes, educate. You educate. It is good info. I appreciate that, Joshua. I mean, thank you for saying it's good info. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk for you. Not at the moment. I mean, honestly, without utility, token not being used for what it's truly designed for, all the trading is spec trading. That's how I see it could be. No, you're not wrong, Terry. Absolutely not wrong. But you also got to remember when there's pumps, the whales that got in for this first pump, they're not satisfied yet. 56 cents, as I was told, the day at 90. Yep, we talked about that level here as well. We've talked about 3 different levels. We also talked about this level that we don't want to come back to. There's no guarantee, folks. If you're just tuning in, we have 153 people in here now. Make sure you hit that like button. Please, please, let's get those likes up. It will really greatly help me. How high can XDC go? We're going to take a look at XDC, but you understand the XRP chart. I stayed on so you could see it after the daily close for XRP. The 3-hour time frame is our biggest issue right now, as we're getting rejected, and now it looks like we're going to push down to the bottom of the channel to see if we have support down there around 65 cents. It could even be down right around 65.4. But if we break through this, look firmly. I don't think 6133 broadening wedge is going to hold. That breakout point, I think we'd firmly come back to the 585. And it looks confluent. Spaceman 2.0, welcome in the house. Good evening, my friend. Did I miss your comments? Oh, I do see you gave me the thumbs up and the praise. Hey, Tom, finally alive. I can enjoy. Thanks, GJG. I appreciate that. What do I see with H-bar? We'll look at H-bar after. But let's just pay attention to what I'm showing you, because XRP, as you can see, it could start slumping down here while we're on the live. That's why I love coming on at certain times. XDC's up to 921. This is the main thing, ladies and gentlemen. If we're breaking out of here, I put it from over there, so if it is a breakout from here, technically we're targeting right there at about 1021. We would be looking at support here on XDC. First level, if we do consolidate up, and let's just see, we need to hold this support now at the 8-9 level, just to confirm that this is going to be a continued move, to finish off this move off of technically that broadening wedge area. Let's pull this back out. Is that too high up? What is going on here? No, that... It might be a little too high. So we're trying to fulfill that move up to about 1005 right now. And we broke out of the pattern double top. So now if you break over that, that's when it gets interesting. If XDC breaks over that top at 10 cents, we got to go way back in the pattern. See right here? This would be your next resistance up above. That's why I had the 10.9 up there, but I wasn't going to try to confuse until I figured it out. So right now we're firmly looking at 10 cents. If we can continue moving up, that's a very nice candle to start the day after the daily close. That's a very bullish looking candle, in fact. In the 4-hourly, although, actually, you know what? That volume is atrocious. This is starting to top out here. I'll just be, and in the short term, this is likely starting to top out. I think it's going to go to 10 cents, and you're going to have a quick drop back to 7.8 likely. This is topping out very poorly. Look at this in the daily. We went from 824,000, made a nice bounce up, 385, another bounce up, 303. This is a bearish reversal in the making, folks. Be very careful. Be very careful up here at the top. Likely we're going to fulfill this at around 10 cents. That's the technical target. And then I think it's going to come down. That volume is speaking. That's speaking. In the same way we're talking about XRP having a bullish reversal at the bottom, this reeks of XDC having a bearish reversal when we get to about 10 cents. That volume, unless we see a big volume burst, that is just trickling in now. Trickling in. Ooh, September 20 is going to be big then. Thanks for that info, Spaceman 2.0. So we did XRP. That's XDC, so pay attention to that. 10 cents could be a very big sell-off. Even now, if 899 doesn't hold, that's your first sign we're starting to reverse back down and we've run out of steam. Just pay attention to that. 899 could tell you quickly if we're going to come back to 7.3 before we make it up to 10 cents. H-bar, somebody asked. Oh, and who was saying they agreed with me? Hey, Donald, shoot, thank you so much. I appreciate you enjoying the show. That means a lot to me. Roger, thank you very much. Janino, welcome in, love. I'm so glad I didn't miss your comment. Welcome in. Johnny, Asian boys loving XDC. They have been. One rough recon, welcome in, my friend. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll go back to XRP chart. I just want to look at these real quick for the questions asked in the audience. And if you appreciate my work, please don't hesitate to join Tom's Army or send a YouTube super chat. XDC is on another moon mission, Johnny. It is starting it. Who else did I miss? Nick Morales, I could see 10 cents tonight, then possibly mass profit. Exactly. Nope, that is not a bad opinion. Actually, I agree 100% with the volume portfolio. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate that. Art Lopez, hey, Tom, can you take a look at quant? Yes, I can. Chance, welcome in. XDC was up to, 9.3. Very impressive. I really think we're going to about 50. I do too. I think about that 585 is more than likely with XRP. Now that we're looking overly bearish on the 3 hourly with 4 straight rejections on the 200 day and the 3 hourly, that's a very bad sign. I mean, at least for the short term, but keep the faith. XRP is nowhere not done on this move, in my opinion. It doesn't have the proper sell volume. Now with H-bar, as you know, if you're a part of FOMO Fridays, for 9 weeks, and yes, tomorrow's FOMO Fridays, where we'll continue adding for the 4th week of Casper. We've got 3,300 tokens of Casper. I think is a fucking sleeping giant, excuse my French. But we'll be making our 4th purchase tomorrow. $50 a week is all you need to join us on FOMO Fridays for Casper. Before that, we did 9 weeks. It cost us $527. We got 10,057 tokens of H-bar. We did it as a community. Our average was at 5.2. We started buying our first purchase in May right around 5.3. Brought it all the way down to here to about 4.3, 4.4. And then we ended up buying it. I think the highest was 5.5 to finish it off, or 5.4. So we're somewhere around 5.2, I believe. But we bought it for this exact formation. And now we're looking to see if we can pull off this inverted head and shoulders. We can possibly hold 497 if that's the support we're holding. We have a bullish cross here in the daily. And now we're going to try to make our way up to that 583. If we can push over that and make this little inverted right arm that I showed, we need to get back up into that rising channel to start pushing on. But H-bar is starting to reverse course just a little bit here, so pay attention to that. Somebody asked for quant. We'll absolutely look at quant. It's actually breaking back down into its formation. And I do actively chart quant. I just don't show it every day. I showed the breakout attempt, remember, and then I said, if it gets rejected at the 200, we have to come back and see if the first level of breakout could hold. That's at 102. Right now it's holding. We've had nothing more than a wick, but we really need to come back up and hold this 102 level. That could gain us the further support. This is the first layer breakout of here. The second level is up to here at 123, 122. You break that, you have a target of 150, but right now we had to verify the first level breakout. With the way this formation is, it has 2 tiers to break out. We broke out of the first one, but we need to get past and hold this support to validate a move back up to 122 to try to break out. So right now, quant is very much so consolidating. The volume looks pretty much identical to the breakup, so we don't know. If it breaks this formation, for anybody who wants cheaper quant, you're going to be very happy. But right now, it's firmly within this formation, and it looks like we're trying to hold support here. It could very well finish it out, and as long as we don't lose that the $100 mark on quant, it's still overly bullish, because this is technically forming what looks like a descending, well, not descending, but more of a, it's so hard to say, but just I suppose, because it's decreasing the volume, but we do have like a horizontal hold here through this entire area, because this is supposed to be right here. I just try to make it more clear to see, but that's like a horizontal support. Now, what we can say here, and this is what the next layer is, if we're doing something like this and we're trying to round this out, that's why it's so important that we hold that support. But that's just the patterns there. It's for everybody to see. If it breaks down, we're going to have to consolidate back into these areas, and there's really going to be nothing we can do about it, because if it breaks down from there, what is starting to form here in the daily is we're starting to do something like this, which can be some kind of a channel forming. So pay attention. If we break $100, there is no guarantee that quant isn't going to stop falling for quite some time. There is an opportunity if quant continues to fall, but that's us pressing the situation if we break down. That might not happen. I think we should keep it there just in case. But that's just from a daily perspective. That's just, hey, this could be something that's forming. We haven't been able to get out of this little consolidation. But that's just what's going to have to happen. And you know, I'm not trying to trick anybody. I'm just showing you what I see. And everybody always asks me, how'd you learn technical analysis? Believe it or not, I taught myself. I tried to ask people on YouTube, and they kept telling me to buy their course. And all I could say is, you son of a bitch, I'm broke. I'm poor. I need help. And I'm not begging. I'll reciprocate it in donations and subscriptions if you just help me get off the ground and teach me. Nobody was willing to do it. So that's why I do what I do. And yeah, some things might not sound like everybody else's. It's not meant to. This is my own interpretation. KLC, am I wrong for thinking it's not going to moon for another month? XRP, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's just, it depends which part of this momentum it carries with XRP. It could take until 2028 to get the proper moon that everybody wants. Be honest with you. GJG, but the cup and handle in that 59 is, it is 585. That's why I keep talking about it. 585 cup and handle is the perfect spot. That is the perfect spot. You bought 1,000 XRP at 66, no problem. Now, if it goes 20% below that, you continue acquiring. That's the goal. You always do that if you buy and you have a 20% below. That's my own personal strategy. Janina, Tom, when XRP went to 92 cents, were people able to get... No. This is why I'm going to push again. Thank you for asking, Janina, and I'm going to continue reading the comments. On Uphold, it went down. So you were not able to capitalize on the full profits. That's why I told everybody. What I do is I have my 12,222 tokens on Uphold. I also have a couple thousand over the top of that on FEMX that used to be on BitGet, but since they stopped supporting USA for new users, I took it somewhere else. And I put it on FEMX. They did not go down the entire time. So what that means is you could have technically sold off for profit, and then you could have did what you needed to do, or you could add more or have a little bit that where you could sell. But I'm looking for exchanges that don't go down. That's why I keep pushing FEMX. Never went down during that whole time it's in there. Their maker fee is only 0.9%, so you can buy it there and then send it to Uphold for storage. I'm not affiliated, so you're just going to have to go through their steps. So that's just their generic registration page. Johnny, welcome and thank you. Charles Horn. Roger says, this guy blows me away. He's so smart, left alone, I can barely keep up. Hey, Roger, I appreciate that, but you will be able to keep up. I do this every single day to stay transparent so every single person can catch in. After a while, you start to understand the cycle. I promise. Tanya, you can barely keep your eyes open. You're fighting. Got a lot of TA, and thank you so much. Tanya, get some rest. You can fall asleep while listening to me. I've heard I have an intoxicating voice, but I appreciate you watching me, love, and please sleep well when you do fall asleep. And I'll be right here when you wake up. You know, you might have to watch the repeat or whatever, but I'll still be right here. Jose, welcome in from Mexico. Hope that vacation is treating you well, my friend. Man, I get that question all the time about Casper. All the time. Wow, XRP Broska, thanks for the $4.99. Thanks for keeping us informed. You are more than welcome. We'll get into Casper more one of these days. Did he? That's not... Tom, you're the best on YouTube. I appreciate that, Donald. Julie, do you want to relax? I'm gonna light this canvas. Julie's over here too. She's gonna relax with me. My son just fell asleep, which means everybody, you are more than likely with the 75% certainty gonna get a live after 12 a.m. this morning. My son, when he falls asleep at 8:20, 8:30, he'll wake up at 12, 11:30. I'll be up till 3 a.m. I guarantee it. I'll probably be on it live after 12 a.m. this morning. So anybody who's up late, different parts of the country, different parts of the world, you'll be able to watch me later tonight. I can almost guarantee it. But everybody, I appreciate you for still sticking with it. 128 people after 43 minutes means the world to me. Wow, 133 likes. We've once again went over the 100% like ratio. You guys are the best. And gals. No doubt about it. Hit the like button, people. Mark, everybody is. They've all hit the like button and then some. Pass it around. I wish you were all with me. One day, I promise. One day, I promise, we are going to be sitting around and we're going to be smoking cannabis. It is legal in Michigan, on the Great Lakes, and we're going to have a big old party. I am guaranteeing it one day, and I'm going to pay for it. You guys are just going to have to get there. But I'm going to set it all up. And I'm going to have an open invite. So, Casper white papers. So, the only way to understand what's going on with Casper is to understand what's going on with Casper. So, we'll go to the Casper chart real quick while me and Julie are relaxing. You can say hi if you want.
Hi.
She won't show herself, but she'll talk and say hi to everybody. There is 127 people in here right now.
I don't look pretty enough.
What do you mean? You always look pretty. You're pretty. Don't say that. You're so judgmental of yourself. It is East Coast time indeed. Yep. Jan, I appreciate that. I told him my son's asleep, so most likely there's a 75% chance I'll have a live after 12 a.m. today. And you know it as well as I. So this is, we'll go to Casper. Yeah, you're going to have to go lay down, I know. Casper. So we'll look at the chart. That's secretly why I asked if you wanted to relax, because I knew you'd probably get off your foot, because it's probably swollen right now.
I just gotta wait for
Michaela for 9, what time? 9 o'clock. Okay. Just please let me know what numbers if I'm on. Just so I can... Whoop, forgot I was on. Casper's at 389. On FOMO Fridays, we're buying into Casper. This will be our 4th week. Casper right now, it's got a multi-layer breakout areas. I kind of did the fan system for Casper. I first had the first layer for everybody, but we do have 2, 3 in the 4th layer. Right now, we've been looking beautiful though, bouncing around. We have this bull flag formed. I didn't create it because I said I'm not going to mess up this chart, but you can see it. I'll draw it in real quick and then take it out. I did this last time. So it does this. That's your bull flag. You have a bull flag set up. That's a bull flag. So if we can fill this out properly and bounce, we can bounce out of this area. So if we break this, our next area is here. And if we hold 4-1, you're coming up to here to retest to try to break out further. You sure? I did. The 4-8 level is my last spot. I'll buy Casper. So if I run out of time, I would wait for a further consolidation, even if I don't get the 10,000 tokens. And then I would go on the next one on my list that's in the right spot. The DXY, remember my targeted move was 102 spot, what was it, 80? No, 102 spot 60 was to see if we got rejected. And this isn't it's a rising channel here. I think it's pretty safe to say this isn't a rising channel. And these are very bearish at the top. These are bearish reversals, the rising channel. Unlike falling channels, our bullish reversals, this is every bit, looks like it's forming somewhat of a rising channel here. We have to go farther down probably, but it keeps getting rejected on the uptrending resistance. We're getting rejected on the resistance, forming the support down here on the dollar, but 102 spot 60, if it gets rejected here, you got a long ways down. Remember though, in the 3-4 hourly, we have golden crosses here. So this isn't bearish yet at all by a long shot. We're still holding the 20-day here, and until we break through, it's not going to be overly bearish until we break it down. But 102 spot 60 was the first layer that we could break down. True, welcome in. So real quick, for everybody asking about Casper, what is Casper? Casper is new tuning, is a new Turing complete smart contract platform backed by a proof of stake, consensus algorithm, and WebAssembly WASM. The network is a permissionless, decentralized public blockchain. So the network consensus protocol is called Highway, and it has several benefits over classic Byzantine fault. Hold on. Over classic Byzantine fault tolerant BFT consensus protocol. First, Highway allows networks to reach higher thresholds of finality, meaning that more blocks are finalized and validators agree to add them to the blockchain. Second, the protocol achieves flexibility by expressing block finality in ways not possible in BFT models. This protocol is built on the correct by construction CBC Casper research. True, welcome in, my friend. I really appreciate you tuning in. Additionally, the Casper network is optimized for enterprise and developer adoption. While leveraging blockchain technology, the network seeks to accelerate business operations via unique features like predictable network fees. You want any more? Are you sure? I love you. Predictable network fees, upgradable contracts, on-chain governance, privacy, flexibility, and developer-friendly languages. Casper's core features and strengths enable developers and enterprises to reap the benefits of blockchain technology. Casper also solves the scalability trilemma. Notably, the network is optimized for security, decentralization, and high throughput. All this is achieved while evolving to provide leading solution for open source projects, and enterprises. How does Casper work? Casper relies on a group of validators to verify transactions and uphold the network. Unlike proof-of-work networks, which need decentralized validators for economies of scale, Casper allows for the geographical decentralization of validators. Casper validators verify transactions based on staked tokens and receive Casper rewards for participating in the POS consensus, proof-of-stake consensus mechanism. CSPR is the native token on the Casper network. God, there's so much use for it too. There's so much stuff about the blockchain. So, God, there's so much we have to go over. That was just a basic overview. If you're just getting started, looking for the building your first Casper base, I mean, you can build your, it's all these, oh my God, there's so much stuff. So, I mean, that's a basic understanding. We're here to cover XRP, and I know we're not here for Casper necessarily, but God, it's such a great fucking blockchain. I'm just, it gets me going because this is literally, this is going to be so huge in the future. So huge. Casper Labs provides enterprise-grade software and professional services to organizations building on the Casper blockchain. We're committed to setting you up for successful business. What makes Casper Labs a blockchain for business? They're for the businesses too, which is big. So that's all I'm going to cover with Casper. You can do some independent research, but I need to go back to XRP. We're at 8:30 right now. I wanted everybody to see a little bit from for why we buy on FOMO Fridays, honestly. Ethereum did pay the right people. It sure isn't. Casper, for the record, is light years ahead of fucking Ethereum. Light years. Upgradable smart contracts indeed. I mean, this thing it's so far ahead, and I think a lot of people that are buying it at 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5 cents. Oh my goodness. That's going to be one that, just like XDC, that's another one of the most overvalued or undervalued. But now that XDC is almost at 10 cents, definitely Casper is the second most undervalued that I see of them all. DGB is the most undervalued. Being in the Internet of Things and being at 8 tenths of a cent right now, that's criminal. But like I predicted a long time ago, we were going to get there. It was just a matter of when. So everybody who stuck through that, 110 people, I knew some people would leave, but the fact 110 of you have stayed committed enough to watch through the Casper stuff, I promise you, Casper is something that most people don't talk about. It is a sleeping giant. A sleeping giant. And at 3.6, 3.8, Jasmine is also undervalued. I agree with that, but right now I just don't have the wherewithal to do Jasmine because I have too much stuff to buy still. And that's just me being real. Wow, it's almost been an hour already. Holy smokes. No, it's Casper. CSPR, not Caspa. Casper. We are not a one-trick pony here. We are not a one-trick pony. We deal with the ISO and the IoT almost in particular. Internet of Things and the ISO 20022 compliant. It's taken us several years to get into this position because we had to have a big, we did a swing trade, so to say, in the bull market of 2021. We bought, had everything set up, and within, a month and a half of buying at a 47-cent average in our favorite cryptos related to XRP, we were out at $1.66 in relative. And now it took 2 years to do this. I think Jasmine's bona fide. It's a very rough one right now. I don't know enough about it to be given personal advice on it, but I can tell you I've looked into it enough to know it's probably another sleeping giant. It's just, I don't know the exact ties like I do with the rest of them. I've heard of holochain. I've actually covered that when I was a smaller channel, to be honest with you. I actually used to cover Jasmine a little bit too. Tommy T is absolutely correct on Casper. I appreciate that. Yep, CSPR. Thanks, Jim. So anybody still tuning in right now, what we're looking at after the daily close, XRP is firmly still above the bull flag, but as we determined yesterday, we formed this falling channel. They are bullish reversals at the bottom. The question is though, where the hell's the bottom? And where's the true falling channel? Because I pulled the wicks up, but technically you can come down like this too. It all equals the same spot, but right now it's where the hell are we going? We formed, in my opinion, the support here on the bull flag support. After the breakout, symmetrical triangle broke up, resistance, lower high, came back down, another lower high, came back down, lower high. Now we come back down, we have a low. We pulled up on a wick on the daily. If you watch this in the daily, it's quite entertaining. In the daily, came down, wick back up, support. Came down, wick back up, support. Came down, wick back up, support. Came down to the wick, support. Came down, wick back up, support. So it is a possibility if this comes down, it could be a quick wick back up. Hey, RHS, welcome in, my friend. What's going on? Not much. Not much. Just trying to educate, as always. Just trying to give out the information for everybody, for the ones who are trying to better themselves. And with the unconditional promise that you will never have to pay a red cent to watch my content, because not everybody's in a position to where they can pay. Even if somebody, you see them sending a donation or YouTube super chat, even if you see somebody in Tom's Army, there's still probably 75% of the audience here out of 17,700 of all of you that can't afford to pay the light bill right now, and they're struggling. That's why I'm here. I want to try to give you the information for you to make your investments if you can over time. And as I've said, even $25 a week, if you got to collect cans or do what you've got to do, you know, we can do this together in a way. We can do this together in a way. And I know I'm not going to be the most popular, and the truth takes more time to get around than what people want to hear. But I've always maintained I don't need to be the most popular. I just need the right people to find me. So I have to be the generic, or genuine. I can't be a generic fool who's just pushing out, you know, hey, buy this, buy that, support this so that I can make a little easy money. We're going to do this together. The right ones are going to stick around. Couple more couple more small cap gems if anybody wants. Dent I've heard a lot about. UBIX I'm not too familiar about. Thanks for that. JW, much love to you as well, my friend. K&J in the house. How's it going, dog? It's going good, my brother. It's going good. Hopefully you're doing well, having a blessed day. RHS, you called the dip perfect, sir. Well, I do my best. I do my best. I did hit exactly where we said last night. But remember, if this channel breaks, we would come down to, I still think, everybody keeps asking me, and I'm true, tell me what you think. I know for people that don't understand the cycles, is it not the most perfect hit in the weekly for XRP on this cup and handle pattern not to hit the 585? If we hit that 5885 and bounce, the reason why I say it's so important is, look, where's this at? Right here. This area, let's go into the daily, it's easier to see. But this area, to me, it speaks a lot right here. Look at this. We came down to support at 57, came back up to 66, then we came right through. So this area right here reeks for a retest of support on that cup and handle. I know that we came all the way up, but we have not properly retested that very bearish area yet. So I would think there's a lot of buyers stacked up there, in my opinion. If it doesn't come down there, so be it. We've still finished off a bullish handle on the cup here, but we have to be objective here. We have to understand that's a terrible candle so far to start the daily. We don't want to see, we need a quick pullback. So I'm going to be honest though, I'm not going to tell you it's going to the moon. If I think we have a chance, and that's why I said with the bull flag, it's still possible. That's why we have it marked out and we've talked about it just in case. I prefer the 585. I prefer. It doesn't mean it has to do it, but the 585, the reason I prefer it, right now the top end potential on this bull flag and where we've confirmed this handle is about $1.13. The problem with the $1.13 and that $1.14 is irrelevant. We didn't bounce out of the other area, as we know. And that's only where that symmetrical triangle pushed out. We had to at least clone it to verify it. So right now, the technical breakout is right around $1.13. That $1.13 to me, we got to be past that area. We don't want to be in that area. We went up to a swing high in 2021 of $1.98. We went down to a swing low in 2022. Yeah, 2022, we hit the swing low of 0.286. Ah, there we go. That was getting a little, hey, that looks better. All right. See, it's a little humid here, so it was making my thing fog up, my camera. I was like, what is going on here? That looks way better. I wish I would have done that a little while ago. But if it hits 585, that gives us the maximum capability. And we don't want to be by 113. As I just said, swing high in 2021, $1.98. Swing low in 2022, 286. And that puts me firmly at $1.13. That we need to break that and hold to not be in a bear market rally. I said it before the move up. I've reaffirmed it on the move up, and I'm going to continue to reaffirm it on this push down right now. That $1.13 is the top potential if it's just a bear market rally. That's why you wouldn't sell until you get rejected there if you're looking to just swing it. But you better hope that it's outside of a year if you're going to do it, because you're going to pay 35% in the USA. I don't willingly give the government 20% of my money if I have to, because if you hold well longer than a year, it's only 15%. Yes, 15% still sounds like a crime, but that's why corporations will buy and they will hold losses for years, and then 1 year they're like, oh, we're up in our profits. We're up. Let's say they're up $1 million. They're up $1 million. They're like, all right, what's our biggest loss right now? We lost down $400,000 there. Sell it and rebuy it. So they will literally sell it on the 31st, and they will rebuy it on January 1st. They don't care what the price is, and it takes off $600,000 of their $1 million of profits. Then they will find their next one that they're losing on. They will sell it, and then they will buy it back on January 1, which is why you see a ton of pumps on the first of the year or the second of the year. This is the truth. Nobody talks about this, but this is what actually happens. It's no different in crypto. So right now, you're going through that area. People aren't worried about taking profits, or the people who are playing the investment, the game. That's how it works. That's institutions. They don't give a shit about this first movement. They didn't buy all that money in to just sell it right away. They know what they're doing. If anything, they're trying to push it lower so they can get even more. And then if they can, they're looking for losses to even put on the books. That's how you play the game. The only way I would sell is if I have substantial losses at the end of the year. You're absolutely right. On December 31st, anything that's at a loss, I'm selling, which nothing right now is. But I would absolutely sell it the day before the new year and then buy it back right at. So I would sell it at 11:56 if I was that paranoid on December 31st. And on January 1st at 12:01 p.m., I would buy it. I give it 1 minute grace time just so they can't say, oh, it's 12 o'clock, yada, yada, yada. But that's what the corporations do. We just got to follow their lead. And then let's say you're down by $2 million 1 year. And you're like, oh, shit, man, we're really losing money this year. Hey, wait a minute. We've been holding this one for 3 years. It's up 1.2 million. Hell, well, let's sell it now. Now we're still down 800,000. What's our next big gainer that we could sell from 2020? That's what they do. It's beautiful. Everybody knows my opinion of the wallet. I don't own a wallet. And if you can't trust the exchange, I prefer to use a brokerage exchange over an exchange. That's why I like Uphold. Look into it. You'll understand if you know. But that's why it's more secure and why they didn't feel the need to let go of XRP. FEMX is there just so that we did a case study. FEMX did not go down one time during the 94% run up. Period. Not one time. So if you need an on-off ramp to take money off or to sell, you have your sellable portion on an exchange that doesn't go down and keep the rest on Uphold. If you're looking to sell, that's what I would do. So that's just the way it goes. And yeah, I wouldn't order on Amazon, only for the fact, unless if you're ordering from Amazon, it's directly sent to you from the manufacturer and not sent from somebody's basement. But you all get so caught up with the ledgers and the wallets. The ledger just got hacked into. A whole bunch of people had their money stolen, their XRP, and the common denominator was left. They left them 10 XRP. So who's ever doing it is a prick. Capo, welcome in. And there's a lot of people that aren't even YouTubers that have nothing to do with crypto that are putting their stories on YouTube. You better go take a look on the ledger. So pay attention. It's like I used to say in the stock market, if I can't trust my broker, what the hell is the point of trading? If I can't trust my exchange, what the hell is the point of holding? And like I said, Uphold's more of a brokerage than so I'm just trying to teach you what I know. I do a lot more than crypto. And if there's no exchanges, well, the price isn't going up. Everybody says, oh, well, you can do it offline. What the hell good does that do you if nobody can trade? The price can't go up. Sure, you can spend your money, but we're looking for price appreciation. Oh, hell yeah. Ledgers are getting hacked left and right. The XRP ledger is a big one that got hacked. And, you know, it is what it is. No, digital orgy. I didn't say you did. I was just saying about the... I think you are the one who actually agreed with me. Not just today. You've agreed with me about the ledger basically for the last... I don't know how many weeks everybody keeps asking me all of a sudden. Did somebody's favorite influencer push the ledger again? Because I'm telling you, most of those... Yeah, ledgers are getting hacked. Okay, the Atomic wallet. We've had XRP ledger issues as well in the past few weeks. I actually reported on it a couple weeks ago. So this one was the Atomic wallet. But yeah, wallets are having issues. It will, yep. But yeah, with all that stuff, you just got to go with what you know. You just got to go with what you know. So if you've done your homework and you understand, I just feel more safe where I'm at. That's all I've ever said. Capo, you want to give me the Snoop Dogg TA? Yeah. So basically, real quick, I'll give you the rundown real quick, all right? So basically with XRP, and the biggest ledger thing I remember is when they upgraded the firmware on X to allow for seed recovery, which made folks go, what? Yep, that's exactly it. That's what I reported on, was the seed phrase recovery. Because it allowed a backdoor for the government to come in and technically confiscate. But you know, if the government's going to confiscate, they're going to get it from anywhere they want. That's why I say you better have some precious metals on the side. Oh, you have a... Nice, Danny. That I wish we had zero capital gains tax. Nice. So basically here, I'll ignore the comments for a second so I can answer this. XRP right now in the 3-hour time frame, we were rejected multiple times. 1, 2, 3 times we couldn't get over the 200-day. Now we seem to be overly bearish. And now it's a matter of time. If we just break this 66.1, basically 661, we're more than likely coming down here. I mean, I don't really see much holding us up right now. I don't see much holding us much at all. If we hold the channel, it would still be a beautiful time to break out. But to me, the best opportunity, like I've been telling everybody, is to come down to 585. And that's where the cup and handle would be the strongest. You build the bullish handle on the cup. And it's the best opportunity to bounce out of here and get a parabolic spike. You can get a nut. And the reason for that is it gets you over the $1.13. And the technical target, if you were to make that kind of a hold, this cup and handle's technical target's at $1.50. Now, I'm not saying by any means you would get there just because you hold, but that is technically the upside potential. Now, you would have to get past the broken bull flag structure, get past the 85 and the 937 swing high, get past that old $1.13 like I've been talking about, and then we'll see. We'll see. So, the basic rundown here right now is XRP's overly bearish right now in the short term, but extremely bullish when it comes to the fact we've had a golden cross in the weekly, so the higher time frames are much more bullish. We have that cup and handle pattern. We have this bull flag that I think is going to bust here actually in a second, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong because we technically haven't broken down out of this little support here that it can touch down. If we just bring it across, that's the channel. But the channel here, this is just about done, because if it breaks through this channel's probably going to bust. You see it's building pressure. It's building pressure, but it looks like it's building downward pressure. Not a lot of consolidation here with volume. It's not coming down with volume, which tells me that it's probably still overly bearish when we touch down to that support. That's my interpretation. Wow, back up to 127 people. True, you remember when we used to be in here with 30 people not too long ago? And everybody who's in here used to be in here. You know, 2 days or 3 days ago, we hit 320 people when I came on at 3 o'clock. And I'm like, you know, there might be too many people at 3 o'clock. So now, if you notice, I transitioned to 7:37 real quickly. Every time I was coming on at 2 and 3. Not that I don't love everybody, don't get me wrong. But having 250 and 320, I'd rather have... 125 is a lot, but it's a lot more manageable. So, you know, tonight the only benefit is I'm probably going to be coming on after 12 again, because my son's sleeping right now, which means I'm going to be up till 3 a.m. So this is what we're looking for. Bottom line, this is basically your support you need to hold. If you break 66 cents, you're probably coming down here. And then if that breaks, we already know 6133 is the broadening wedge support, but you're more than likely coming to that 585 double top support. That's the cup and handle support as well. That's the 585 breakout. So everybody, I've enjoyed the hell out of this live, but it is coming to an end. I've been talking for a long time. If you have any last questions, please ask. If you want to hit the subscribe button to join my channel, or make sure you hit the like button as well if you appreciate my content. If you want to join Tom's Army or send a YouTube super chat, YouTube super chat, now is the last chance. Or if you want to join FEMX, for all the reasons I said before, that's just a generic link because I'm not affiliated. But that's the way to do it because, hey, it stayed up. True, you said, I told you if you keep doing things the way you do, smart people will find you, deserve it all. I appreciate that, True, and you've been saying that for a long time, too. You know, it's kind of hard to comprehend. We just got the 17,000 last Wednesday, True. My goal for the end of 2023 was 17,500. Today, we just went over 17,700. Like, that's crazy. 708 days. I think, wow. Thanks, JW. I appreciate that. God bless you as well, my friend. I remember those nights you'd take shots. Oh, yeah, Jim. Absolutely. There still could be days like that. Those were fun days. There'll still be days like that. Nobody says we can't take a shot in here. But I'm just not an overly drinker. I don't even know the last time I've even had a drink of alcohol, to be honest with you. But I used to take shots like that because people would, and I used to say, hint, hint, wink, wink. You can send me a message at strutrugali@gmail.com. And I've had people send me liquor, bourbon, vodka, mostly bourbon and whiskey, because I like whiskey if I'm going to drink. But you can always send me it. Just send me a message at strutrugali@gmail.com, and as long as I know who you are and I trust you, I'll give you my address. You wouldn't even know. Somebody sent me honey. They're a beekeeper a few states over, and they sent me honey through the mail. It was awesome. I've had people in the military send me badges and honorable things and just things you couldn't even imagine. So if you have something you want me to show on the air, by all means, reach out. We're universal here. JW, it was 4 fun days. It was. The one day was really fun. And I do miss digital. I'm saying people on Ledger got hacked that opted into sending out seed phrase, otherwise good. I'm pretty sure if you didn't opt for the seed phrase, I think that was the only way to have the backdoor into being hacked. But I'm not on the XRP Ledger. So, but that's something that I reported on because it was overly apparent that it was happening when they made that upgrade. And that's when we started talking about how that was possibly a backdoor for confiscation one day if it happened. I'm not saying it's going to, but that was definitely something that people were pissed about. We're like, what the hell is going on? But I've been very honest. I don't use a ledger of any kind. Like I've said from the beginning, if I can't trust my exchange/brokerage with Uphold, who can I trust? So I'm XRP Future Millionaire. I appreciate each and every one of you. Now I can say, if you guys want to stick around, I can do an old fashioned where I smoke my cannabis and I go through like the old days, and I don't talk, but I do the technical analysis. Most people will leave, but I go chart to chart to chart and do a silent technical analysis. Would anybody be interested in that? And I'll play the old school music. Well, whatever. I'm talking about the ledgers getting hacked, but the XRP ledger, when they upgraded the firmware, they made a seed phrase to where you could get in there. That's all I'm saying. Somebody else, a lot of people have corroborated it. All right, cool. So I'll just put on a music real quick. I'll put Mother Second Choice on real quick in the background while I'm going to grab my stuff. And then I'm going to start out with the old music I used to use. A lot of you know. It was a cool little beat. It wasn't Mother's Second Choice, but it was my my silent music for when I would do it, and then it would go into Mother's Second Choice. So we'll put on Mother's Second Choice. Let's see. Which one should I put on? Nope, that is not Mother's Second Choice. But that's the one I like to play when I'm doing my music. Everybody's talking, so I can't see. Oh, there's Mother's Second Choice. Let's see. Ooh, I like Road Trains, one we didn't play a lot for Mother's Second Choice. Shout out to Mr. Anthony Carter, and if you're using his music, please, please, please get the express written consent, or you'll have to share your profits with Mr. Anthony Carter. Wink, wink, if you're watching. I never contest it, so anytime I play your music, you get royalties from it. I don't contest it. Now that they upgraded their system on YouTube, I get advertising, you know, if somebody's watching, whatever it ends up being. So while I'm playing your music, I have split royalties with you. So whatever ad revenue comes in during this segment, it splits between us 50-50, just so you know, because I appreciate you and I think you should make some money on the side. Okay. Welcome back, everybody. So I think everybody who tuned in, 87 people that stuck around. Wow, really? I was not expecting that many people to stick around. I greatly appreciate you. So I'm going to do this. We're going to relax. And we're going to just go through a little bit of the charts like V-Chain, ZIL, DGB, XLM, and a few others. A few other as well. I love you all. Real talk. Every one of you individually. Remember, positivity over negativity. Without each and every one of you, this community is not what it is today. It wasn't too long ago when we had, 35 people roaming around, then 100, then 1,000, then 5, then 10. Now we're knocking down the doors of almost 18,000, which, is starting to sound pretty crazy. So, because of all of you, though, I might do a good job, or I might do a good job interpreting, or we all might, we might all, you might appreciate what I do, but at the end of the day, we're unified now. We got the bad tension out of the air. We don't have that hostility anymore. And, we use that positive mindset. We don't play the victim and, arguing with each other in comments and saying, I'm right, you're wrong. Yeah, that's playing the victim in a way. So we just keep it positive over negative. We are inclusive. And the bottom line is that we don't do here no paid advertising, no paid promotion, no paid sponsorships. And the one thing I do differently, just look in my comment section, you don't see the spam. And what do I do to you guys? I comment to you on my YouTube channel. Why? Because I respect each and every one of you, because you're the reason I'm here. The biggest insult across all of YouTube and social media, especially YouTube, is that the bigger influencers don't comment. And when they do, it's simply a knockoff spliced account of theirs that tells you for their WhatsApp or whatever the stupid crap is. Like, it's not too much for us to acknowledge that we have an audience and you're the only reason we're here. So that's what I do, and I'll continue to do it. And my promise to you is you'll never have to pay a red cent to get any of my content, period. So with that, I thank each and every one of you. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you give thanks to your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, to your higher power, and acknowledge that we all need in this time. It's going to be a time of change, but we also have to be giving to each other. So basically, I can achieve this, you can achieve this, but we have to self-help everybody else. So if we're doing it, we have to make sure the next person can do it as well and give them the opportunity. If they don't take advantage of the opportunity, that's not our fault, but we have to give it nonetheless, and that's the way the world works, period. Otherwise, we don't know anything. When we grew up, we knew nothing about crypto. We started learning. Now we know about the ISO 20022. We know about the Internet of Things. It worked us into some of this blockchain technology and some of this other stuff that is going to universally transcend us. And now we know about the CBDCs and the Fed now and all this other nonsense because we're part of it. 99% of the world, especially in the USA, has no idea what any of this means. So we're stuck on an island, folks. So it's our job to inform as many as we can. I bless each and every one of you. I thank each and every one of you. And thank you all for blessing me. I'm eternally grateful. Very bad for XLM. Fell outside of the bowl flag. Very bad. Remember this one? Oh, where's that? Where the heck's that? Hold on, I'll find it. Oh, right here. Now we're jamming. Thanks, Jose. Thank you, Roger, so much. We're coming up. But if we break this, up here. Broke the falling channel. Oh no, we didn't. Big falling channel. Okay, that is a if this holds this channel, this has a major falling channel that's starting. If this holds, this would be a huge breakout. Very bearish. Be careful here. Very bearish on solo. Very bearish. Very bearish. You better hold on to me, girl. I got more living to do. Singing, I have no direction. Like a feather in the wind on the tree, my brains, I'll always come back to you. Singing, I have no direction. Like a feather in the wind on the tree, my brains, I'll always come back to you. That's the only way, otherwise it's gonna... I see the fly high, I see the fly low, sometimes I read the news. You better hold on to me, girl, I got more living to do. Singing, I have no direction. Like a feather in the wind on the trail I blaze, I'll always I didn't think I was going to put this in. This is mother's second choice. Yeah, this is mother's second choice. Thank you, JW. Did anybody? How many people stayed? 81 of you stayed to watch this. That is unbelievable. See, that makes me know that we got some lighthearted people in here that care. Awesome. Oh, that is so awesome, chat. Thank you so much. I know it's winding down on us, but hasn't it been a glorious hour and 33 minutes? Who else are you going to watch to have this kind of an environment? We're all token right now. But, you know, like I always say, I don't smoke cigarettes, so I don't endorse cigarette smoking. And people always think I'm a dick for saying this, I do not endorse of any kind smoking an e-cigarette or a marijuana pen. I know it sounds crazy, but damn it, if you're going to smoke cannabis, don't smoke that halogenated bullshit that we don't know what the chemicals are. You know, popcorn lung is real. Just enjoy your nice paper. You know, I actually buy papers that are unbleached most of the time, but still, I'd rather smoke a paper of any kind. You know, let's be honest, you know, every now and then, depending on the group I'm around, you know, the blunt might come out. You know. But I honestly want to know, what's your opinion on, like, the electric cigarettes and stuff? Do you guys worry about, like, the electric cigarettes, and especially, like, the marijuana pens? Does that ever make you guys worry? Like, we don't know exactly what's in those things. Like, that's what scares me. And I always felt weird. Every time I would hit one, the marijuana ones, I'd always feel like my lungs felt weird. So I always decline hitting it now because it feels weird. Exactly. See, that's what I'm saying, True. I agree. That's what I'm saying. Oh, man. Chat, exactly. Tom, what are the chances XRP gets a run up on liquidity? Like, let me see what your comment said. Tom, what are the chances that XRP gets a run up? To run up on liquidity before making this bigger move down? And there is a chance. That's what we were talking about. If it comes back up to the top of the rising channel. I keep saying, though, if we get lucky, some would consider this lucky, that we don't break down. I drew the line in the sand, basically. See that blue line that's coming through that channel? That's basically the line in the sand support. If it comes through there, there's not much stopping us until the 200. I mean, the 200 days, obviously, the more trying factor here, but we're really trying to maintain this push up here. But it's not a guarantee, but I would expect some kind of retest in this area, because you have the 20-day coming through here, and then we got the falling channel that we have not retested. It's very uncommon to not retest it again if you're going to fall through, because it would give you the illusion of a fake breakout, and it almost looks too perfect here. That's a very bearish W that formed, and then it would ultimately crash when it was done. So yeah. JW, I do too. You know, I always tell everybody, and they think I don't know if you guys believe me or not, but I literally, because of the world, because of the way it is, you know, I broke my back when I was 23. I was a very giving person early on in life even. I was very wise for my age. And I always attribute it to the fact my parents got divorced when I was 8. And in the summers when I was 11, I'd watch my brother and sister, and my parents were at work, so they were 9 and 7. So, you know, an 11-year-old watching a 9 and 7-year-old, you'd probably be thrown in jail these days. But it really helped me mature very quickly. You know, I didn't have much of a childhood. I worked starting when I was like 13, 14, and my dad even earlier than that. My dad had a sprinkler company, even though he was an engineer. But once my parents got divorced, you know, it was, this is the greatest ice cream truck ever. Do you hear this music? He never turns down here. But he's an ice cream man who plays the Mario Brothers theme song from the first Super Marios. So, you know, I always attribute it to the fact, like, hey, I got to start off early. You know, I matured early. So, I don't even know what the hell the point is, but you guys get it. Oops. Let's see. All the oils are good. The wax. But, you know, to me, that's the other thing. I'm not really a big proponent of that. Then you got to heat it up to fucking 10,000 degrees just to be able to hit it. You know, then I feel like I'm smoking the metal. Like, you know, it's just not for me. Just give me the cannabis. Give me the fucking, give me what God gave me. God intended me to smoke. God said, here's a plant, figure out how to ingest it. You can eat it. You can roll a leaf up. You can roll 2 sticks together to get a little bit of a brush fire so that you can light the end of it. You can toss it in the fire was probably the intention now that I think about it. The first baking session of all times, you have it out in the woods, and they put, you know, they grab all the, holy shit, what is this stuff? Oh, it doesn't taste very good. And then they start feeling good. What happens if we throw it in the fire? I'll bet you their problems were solved very quickly. Very quickly. That's why it was a Schedule. Would you believe that marijuana is still a Schedule 1 drug federally in the USA? On the same levels of heroin and crack cocaine? Oh my God. It's true though. That's a true story. For anybody not in the US, it really is. It really is. For some reason, all this stuff you can talk about on YouTube. But you know, if I talk, well, I can't go down the good route. But you know, like I always say too, this is going to be something we're going to talk about more. The only reason to have light is to have the darkness as well. We wouldn't know light unless there was dark. You wouldn't know I was good at this, or I was being honest and truthful, or that I'm a good person, or whatever a lot of you say, if you didn't see others that are unauthentic. There's always good and bad. It always takes longer for the good to shine. There's a reason for that. Do you know why the reason is for the truth to go around and for the good to be seen? There's a lot of evil in this world, and we might not want to admit it, but a lot of us are looking to take the easy way out. So we look for the ones, we own XRP, so we look for the person who says it's going to go up to $1,000 next week. We look at the person who says, hey, join my this or that and follow my, whatever the case may be. You know, that's why we have that guiltiness. We look for the easy way out. I'm guilty of it too. It wasn't until, like I always say, 2017, I stopped looking for the easy way. 2019, I put it all together because I started in 2017. 2021, my prayer was answered from when I was a kid. I always knew I was going to be an influencer, but I didn't know what that meant because influencing wasn't what it is today. I just always knew I was going to help people. We were going to go through a time when we were going to have a great, you know, we can call it the Great Awakening, as one could say, but you know, we were going to have a time where we go through, I always felt like during my time, it was going to be biblical. I used to have dreams of being underground, like having to bury underground and having to figure out a way for air. And it used to be so vivid at like 6 and 8 years. It was so weird. So I've always had a weird mindset, you know, and then, you know, I got injured when I was 23 and I've never was like, oh my God, I wish I wasn't injured. I'm so happy I was for 2 reasons. One, I was real fat when I was a kid. I was like, it's literally, my body fat was, I think when it measured, it was like 40 something percent. I was 262 pounds at my highest, or 258 or 262, I can never remember, when I was in high school. So at 16, 15, I'm like 250 pounds. So that taught me though, when I got injured, because I had started working out earlier than that, but I never dedicated. From 23 on, I always looked at things different. I've never been over 200 pounds since I was in my 20s. And now, you guys see now, you remember what I looked like when I started, but now I intermittent fast the last several months. I was working out at the gym, but you know, I'm still recovering from injuries sustained in a biking accident, which we're not going to get into on July 4th, but I am feeling a lot better, you know, I'm feeling a lot better. But that at 23, it allowed me to slow down. I couldn't work. I could barely walk. I was getting shock therapy and all that good stuff. So I started to have a lot of time to do research. And let's just tell you, once you go down the rabbit hole, there's no coming back. So I always tell people, I used to answer people when they say, how are you doing today? In my early 20s or mid 20s, when I first started to learn a lot. In high school, I learned a lot and I started going down the rabbit hole. But when I was 23, when I got injured, I really went down the fucking rabbit hole. I mean, I really went down the rabbit hole, and that's 17 years ago. You know, and that's when I stopped respecting politics, and I realized, holy crap, the right versus left is just, that's the way to divide and conquer. Who cares about who the president is? You need to learn about the central banks. Everybody who argues about Republican and Democrats, the one thing they never say is the central bank, which is what really runs our country. And who owns the central banks is who's ruling the world. That's just the truth. So that's why I say politics, no reason for division, ladies and gentlemen. Just keep it real. Right or left, you're both wrong. It's the central banks. They don't have a color. So then after that, I get a little bit older, and I knew that I couldn't work a normal job. But, I started becoming a personal trainer then through my back out, and they forced me on disability. So I lived that life for 2 years. Bailey's actually forced me on disability. They filled it out, sent it into the government. They got, I'm sure, a big cut of it. And so then I started burying cable lines when I was like 31, 30. I said, screw this, I'm going back to work. I did that for 5 years. Don't know how. I don't even know how I did it. I did it outside. I don't know how. First 2 years, I had to work the first year I worked 7 days a week in the summer, sun up to sundown. Good money though. I mean, like, if you consider I was doing labor. I always liked labor outside because you make more. Everybody thinks it's a shit job. You stay in shape. But I was literally making the bury cable lines. Mind you, I hadn't worked for like 2 years. So where else am I going to get a job? My buddy that my brother was working for, Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing, just happened to be doing the cable lines. And I started doing it, and you're talking about instantly I can make $1,200 a week. Instantly. You're 1099, so you're not paying the government until the end of the year. You had a $12,500 standard deduction because you're running your own business. You had to have liability and all that good stuff, but that was just to protect you in case you did a bad job and ruined something, which happens because you're running with a bore machine too in the beginning. But then after that, I figured it out. I can do this, but I'm not doing this. So I'm like, my last year I worked, I said, I'm going to teach myself technical analysis. That was 2018. No, 2019. I did that and DoorDash and Uber Eats and all that at the same time because I said, you know what, fuck this. I just need to build enough capital. Took that money and started investing. It lost a shit ton. And by my standards, a few $1,000s was a shit ton. But that was what I was losing, and I was willing to try. And then all of a sudden it clicked in 2019. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm going to follow the smart money. They all invest here. And the thing that made me figure it out was how they would all sell at the end of the year on some stuff. I'm like, what are they doing? And why would they just rebuy it? It doesn't make any sense to me. I started learning the taxes, and I started learning everything behind it. So, yes, tuition indeed, true. Tuition indeed. So then after I finally put it all together in 2019, that's when I started to doing my precious metals journey. 2019. 2020, I paid off all my debt, raised my credit score from the low 500s to now it's been over 7. It hasn't been under 700 since 2021, which I don't put a lot of stock in the credit score, but you have to pay attention to it because if they're going to give you credit, you need credit to live in the United States. So, it is what it is. It's a double-edged sword. So then it was more building myself into my own central bank. So then buy my house. I moved here in 2021. Bought it in 2022 in Clawson. Now it's one of those things. It's going to be paid off here very quickly too. So that's going to be a blessing in disguise. So there'll be a day I come on here and I'll be a lot less stressed out here. And sooner rather than later, it'll surprise a lot of you. But it's just going to show you the progression. And to have faith and believe in what you're doing. Because I'm telling you there's a better way. And I'm trying to teach you all day by day. And my house, I got a really good deal on it because it was in Julie's family. And it appraised for $220,000, but I only paid $160. And it came down. Everybody knows the story. I'm filling in, but weed is good. I don't use that word. I use cannabis a lot. Because But it's just I think the ones who stayed around for the session I was in, I'm not drawing in any new people, let me tell you that right now. But the people who stuck around, I always open up at the end. A lot of when I go into those little sessions, a lot of time I'll open up for a few minutes and then I'll just leave randomly. But you'll hear my life story, so some of you who haven't actually heard it or are newer, you're hearing it. So please just say things later sometime out of the blue that would be wonderful. Wait a minute. Somehow I understood your pain that came through the comments. Who said? Oh, true. I'm trying to read this. That's what I read. Okay, good. Oh, man, that's one thing I do want to try. Crane them. That's supposed to help you connect with the spiritual God. So, you know, just be careful. I agree, chat. Cannabis is more professional. But you know, that's the journey I can show you guys. I can teach you what I've learned. And there's a lot of trial and error, but the main thing that I learned is there's cycles. This whole swing trading bull crap. Do you know why they created swing trading and leverage trading? It's just so that you wouldn't look at your long-term portfolio. Almost 100% of the people, and this is not, I'm not trying to be a dick, but I will easily say over 95% of people that futures trade on a daily basis for over 1 year are in the negative. And if you want to try to prove me wrong, you can try to prove me wrong. But I believe over 95% of people that leverage trade over a 1 year cycle are likely in the negative. It's just like going to the casino. I'm a professional, I win, but over a year you're losing money. So I believe that and swing trading gets you in a lot of trouble, because then you're always looking for an exit and a buy instead of just, we're in the freaking accumulation phase right now. So that's why when people ask me, are you selling? No, we're accumulating. Do you know how easy it is not to have to worry about buying and selling on a daily basis? Man, everybody's so stressed out. I can't understand why. We're up $7,000 in 2021 or 2023. I mean, that's the honest to God truth. That's what we're up right now. Okay, we came down 30%. Fantastic, but XDC's up 72% in the last 3 days. You know? But I mean, that's just the honest to God truth. So if you just focus. So let's just see anybody. I just like to read the comments. I'm sorry I fell behind the comments, but we're having a moment here tonight. It happens every so often when I go live. Everybody knows. Usually it happens on Sunday. People say after I go to church, I say my piece. Well, it took a few days this week. Jeff, be your own bank for sure and believe in the triple X's. Absolutely. There's more than that. The IoT, the Internet of Things, and also the ISO 20022. But if all you can do is XRP, XLM, XDC, I can't hold it against you. But you could always buy 10,000 DGB and it'll cost you 80 bucks. 80 bucks for 10,000. Give my DGB a chance. For 80 bucks, you can own 10,000. You know, and then, you know, whatever happens, happens. Amen, Tom. Preach, brother. You're doing good. I appreciate that. Rye, I future trade every day. I don't know if I want to keep reading because I don't know if this is going to be good. Roger, Farley, true. Rye, and I'm indeed in the negative. I'm not laughing at you. I'm more laughing in sync with you because I know secretly you're laughing typing the comment, because we all smirk when we do that kind of stuff. Trust me. When I was going to the casino or when I played on FanDuel, I had a stretch one time, and I'm not kidding you. I had a stretch, and I showed you guys on air, and I thought I made 4 $10 bets in a week, and I won over 1,000. You guys all seen it, and I showed it last year. It was the craziest thing ever. I'm like, I just got in sync with analytics in 2022, and it happened. And I looked at my portfolio from 2021, and I'm like, it says your overall portfolio. And mind you, I'm up $4,000 this week. Your overall portfolio since 2016 or 17 on FanDuel, you're down $1,200. I'm like, wait a minute, what? Before I won that, I was down $5,000. So even though it felt like I was winning a lot, they still managed to take that money from me until I went on a hot streak. It's like, holy crap. So that's what I mean. I don't do that at all either. The only time I ever have FanDuel as it's deleted, like I tell everybody, is when Michigan's playing or a sports team or the NBA playoffs, because it's so easy to win in my opinion. I just don't talk about it much. I don't have it on there, but for Michigan football, I like to it makes it funner when I'm watching a game, but I don't watch sports at all unless Michigan's playing or in the NBA playoffs. Because I just find it so funny how predictable it is. And you never bet on the teams, you bet the over-under as the game's going on, because you get a feel. You always know. You always know. But other than that, you know, I don't like to gamble two things at once. So I accumulate, and I don't futures trade. I don't do any of that nonsense. So, but that's it, everybody. For the life story, you know, so for any other reason, at least you know who I am. But I gotta go. I appreciate all of you. XRP, just watch here. As we hold this, if we break past here, we're probably going to come down. We're going to come down here to 654. But we're going to see if 65 can hold at the bottom of the channel, as it ironically comes to that 65 level. But other than that, XRP could have a little move up here. We had this death cross here in the 3 hour. So let me get the 3 hour back out here. 3 hour, we had a death cross. And we've already rejected several, or not a death cross in the 3 hour, 2 hour, but we're about to have a death cross in the 3 hour. 2 hour, it's happened and done. 3 hour, we keep getting rejected. So once this happens, it's going to signify a further move down. So we don't need to come back up. That's the problem. We've already got rejected here multiple times. If we just have a sell candle, it could be quick when the Asian markets come on. So just be alert. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you got anything out of this, please hit that like button. Please hit the subscribe button. And I thank everybody who tuned in during all of these shenanigans at